Welcome to Star Sign Horoscopes, presented by Astrology Hub. This is your place to discover how each zodiac sign can work with this week's astrology. I am your host, Jamie Magee, an astrologer, author, and a member of the production team here at Astrology Hub, and I am really excited to dive into this week's astrology with you. Hi, everybody. Welcome into Star Sign Horoscopes. Today, we're going to be talking about the astrology for January 14th through the 20th. Now, this is going to be a rockin' and rollin' week. There's a lot of forward motion and backward motion and emotion all tangled in it. And for that, I think that our theme for each of the zodiac signs will be passion, fate, and revolution. Before we dive into each of the zodiac signs, I want to talk about the transits that are inspiring this theme for everyone, so that'll kind of help you get a broader view of your own sign. Now, the first thing you may be feeling today is very popular and noticeable, and that would be a Mercury retrograde. Now, Mercury retrogrades, it's always helpful. You know, the common tips here are to make sure that you back up everything, all technology, that you double check what you send. I think it's also double check what you hear as well, because communication is going to be a little wonky. Now, when we have a retrograde, especially if you're like me, you have a plan, you go forward, and when something derails, you just kind of keep focusing till you get to the derailment. But the irony is, this energy is asking you to not go in that direction, to take a break and to go in a different direction. And then when you do, you're going to find a nugget of information or inspiration that's going to help you go forward more broadly. So kind of think about that when you do feel frustrated. And it is a practice. I know it's not easy. It's easy. Well, it's not. It's easier to say than to do, because I'm always working on that myself. Now, Mercury is going to be revisiting stories in your life. So this could really surface in your life a lot of different ways. It could be that you just need to tie up those loose ends so you can move forward. It could be that you have some serious conversations in your life that you need to revisit and make sure that you have everything in line the way that you want to move forward with in a healthy way. Now, along with this energy, we have a story that is new but very familiar that's coming into place. And that's going to be around you and how you agree with power in your life. And power could be a power inside of you. It could be an external force as well. It could be about transformation. And it's also has a lot to do with foundations and building this timeless way forward. And you've been working on this segment and this area and this energy for a long time, but you are a few steps forward. And what's important about this week is setting it up in a way with a lot of integrity and healthy boundaries, because if you do that, you'll be able to make the most of the opportunities as this energy presents in 2022. And you'll be able to work with any of those kind of harder, square off kind of energy, like you have to take action. You'll know what you felt about it today, so you'll be able to take those energies. So kind of reflect on that and think about, if this comes up again, how would I handle it? The full moon's going to help. It's going to illuminate like the opposite spectrum. It's going to help you find the balance in this area of your life. So celebrate anything the full moon brings up. Kind of like hold those emotions. If there's anything the full moon brings up that you're not happy about, just know that that's just showing you something that you don't want to see and move forward as you go forward. Now, the revolutionary part of this horoscope is coming into a couple of things. First of all, we have the nodes moving into new signs. So we're going to have a new driven focus and a new opportunity to release things that are no longer serving us in this area, in an area of our life. But at the same time, we have the change maker, the revolutionary energy of Uranus going forward this week. Now, he's been asleep for a long time, kind of stopped in one place in your chart, and now he's going to move forward. And so I'm excited to talk to all of you about where that action is going to kind of take place, because it's almost as if you didn't think you had an opportunity that kind of fell through, that may be coming through in a really bold, beautiful, lightning strike kind of way for you in the coming weeks. And to tie it all off, guys, we have the sun moving into Aquarius. So we're going to have a new illumination, a new focus in our charts that we're going to be able to work on, which actually kind of ties into the rest of the astrology too. Okay, before we dive into each of the zodiac signs, I just want to remind you that if you do not know your rising sign, you can go to astrologyhub.com/charts and pull up a free chart. You'll not only just be able to see your rising sign, but you'll be able to see where all the planets are in your chart. I definitely encourage you to listen to both your sun sign and your rising sign, because that'll give you an overview, and you'll be able to pull themes together and see what's really highlighted for you in your personal chart. All right, first off, we're going to go ahead and dive into Capricorn. Now, even though we have Aquarius having their first early birthdays before we meet next week, I wanted to lead off with you guys first. and just give you a great farewell off into your 2022 year, your birthday year. All right, Capricorn. Now, this forward backward energy that you're going to be feeling is in a very public, outward place in your life. It's around your identity and who you are and what your value systems are. So it's almost as if you went through a lot of conversations in your partnerships, your work-life balance over the holidays, and you were like, okay, this is what's valuable to me, and I'm marching forward. But now that you've had some time to kind of cool off and sit with the emotions, you may want to go revisit some conversations. And I think I would welcome those. I would listen with new ears. I would speak with, clearer words if the opportunity comes up for you. Now, I think you're going to be able to move forward with the focus. This month you will be focused on what these are my resources, these are my values, and this is what I want to grow. That's what the Aquarius season illuminates for you, Capricorn. So you will be moving forward, but you have to do some revisions at the same time. And obviously, like, this could be around just tying up financial needs, taxes, and making sure you have everything in order as you move into 2022 with your goals. Now, the familiar story, but new story around power comes in this same area around who you are and who you are in your partnerships and how you show up. So think about, this is who I am. This is the integrity that I walk with. This is my healthy boundaries. And this is how I'm going to approach transformation. And if you can spend some time reflecting on that this week, you're going to be able to make the most of it as it comes up throughout the week, especially in your partnerships. And this is going to be illuminated by the full moon for you. So celebrate any winning partnerships or any triumphs that you have in the area of partnerships that come up for you this week. If there's something you don't like, then just know I'm not going to seed that next time. I'm not going to grow forward with that. I think that's a healthy way to look at it. Now, for the fated revolutionary drive for you, Capricorn, is going to come around your creativity. I think that this is great for you because when you think about it, you're such an entrepreneur in general. Like, you like to build things, you like to create things. So not only do you have a driven focus to kind of bring out a new message and a new dream in your life, right now you also have an awakening going there. So I want you to think back to August 21st or around August, the end of the fall of 2021. It may have felt like you had a lot of forward motion, that you were just rocking and rolling all through 2021, breakthrough after breakthrough, and then all of a sudden the brakes hit. And then you had to go back and reset up everything in this creative flow. Well, this week, it's going to start to kind of activate. You may not feel it exactly this week, but I want you to look for those opportunities in this area of your life. It could be around your children as well. It could be around your love or affairs. But for you, it could also be entrepreneurship and building these businesses, just if I look at how the rest of the energy in your chart works. So look for opportunities that are going to spark back into action into your life around this area. And I think that they're going to be double supported because you have this undying focus that you're going to be going in this direction. And it could be that you're just kind of hashing out, this is my love, and these are the people that are going to come with me kind of energy. So I think it's interesting how you guys are going to work with that. All right, let's move on to Aquarius. Now, if you were born in early Aquarius, I just want to say happy early birthday. We will be leading off with you guys next week. This energy for you guys is in an interesting place because it's almost as if you had, you've been working on, tying up 2021. You had, this is who I am. I've kind of worked through everything and I'm ready to step boldly into my birthday month in 2022. And then you got a little bit of stage fright. You kind of went right back in. And it's okay to have that anxiety or that stage fright, or to kind of revisit some things that you want to make sure that you're crystal clear on as you step boldly into all the attention that you're going to be getting from your birthday and this new solar energy that's coming in. It is a great month for you guys because it is your birthday month. So you're setting up a brand new year. So like I said, again, happy birthday. Now, your new but not so new story around power for you does come around that internal place, like that private place of your chart where you are really reflective. Now, for some of you, this could be anxieties. It could be fear. It could be karma, overcommitting, undercommitting to certain volunteer kind of places that you work with. So think about how that set with you last year. Like, did anxiety have power over you, or did you have power to work with anxiety? Did you have, were you working positively with karma? Were you laying down good, healthy karma? And were there any groups that you gave too much to there, or you're ready to kind of move into other things with? These are some great questions to think about as you move into 2022, because you'll be able to say yes when you need to say yes and no when you need to say no. The full moon's going to help you because it's going to be highlighting what you do every day, your ritual, what feels healthy, what feels in rhythm with you. So celebrate the wins that you have there, what was illuminated, any like nods of yes, you did great. If any bubbling emotion comes up for you in your day to day, you're like, man, this is just a lot. Think about that and think about how you can reset it as you move forward. That's what the full moon's kind of asking you to do. Now, your fated karmic shift, our focus that's coming in for you is around your home and your roots. And so I really like this for you, Aquarius, because it's almost as if you had all these forward motion plans. Some of you could have been thinking about moving or relocating based on your job or your family or situation. And then all of a sudden, like just life stopped you. Like you couldn't go forward, even though it was a great plan, great energy. Now it's kind of coming online and it's activated for you again. So if you're looking for something new or a breakthrough around your home, the energy is waking up for you right now. And not only is it waking up, you have a driven focus to get there. And you understand that that is so valuable to you. If you have your roots solid, you're going to be able to grow out into the other areas of your life in a healthy way. Because if you're not happy in your most sacred, comfortable place, you can't be happy anywhere else. And I think this energy is asking you to look at that. So I'm excited to see what you do with that, Aquarius. Have a great week. All right, let's talk about Pisces. Now, Pisces, your forward or your retrograde motion, let's review this one more time, is coming around your dreams and inner work. And how I can kind of see this manifesting is almost as if you had all your dreams, you had this inspiration, this big creative dump that came for you, and then you kind of went into the writer's cave or you went into the creative space that you needed to be in, that alone space to connect with your muses. And you're like, wait a minute, I'm not really sure I understood the dream. Let me go back. And you're retrograding kind of back into that area. Some of you could be retrograding back in to make sure that you have the support that you need or the friends or the community around you so you could do this. I think it's healthy to kind of go back and just kind of like, bask in the dream a little bit more and make sure you have all the pieces together as you go into this creative space. It's almost like you're straddling the two, and that's a healthy space to be in as you create. So I would see any disruption not as a no, you're not ready, but as a wait, there's more. Wait, there's more to learn for you, Pisces. And this is a great month. You will be in that inner space. You will be in that private space of connecting with Source this month. That's highlighted for you in general. So don't worry, you will get there. Now, your new but not so new story around your relationship with power is going to be coming from that same area. So think about 2022 or even like earlier years. Is there anything that's ever held you back in this area? Was it your own personal power? Did you let another outside authority say, you're not ready for this, or this creative downflow that you have isn't fitting in the society that we have now? Or did you feel like you didn't have a power that fit with the flow of society? Either way, kind of think about how toss that around in your mind a little bit. That's where you're having a conversation this week. And I want you to kind of sit with it, because this is such a creative, expansive year for you, Pisces. It's great to know where you agree with this and where you disagree with it, and healthy boundaries as you move forward. Now, the full moon's going to help you because it's definitely highlighting the most fun, creative part of your chart. So this is about, love affairs, children, entrepreneurships, creativity. That's where the full moon is. So if there's any wins there that's coming like a huge harvest, celebrate it, love it. Bask in those emotions, because emotions usually feed our creativity. If there's anything you don't like there, that's okay. You can release it, not plan it as you go forward. Now, your fated revolutionary story for you is coming in for you around how you communicate, which I think also feeds into this same creativity kind of area of your chart. It's as if you had all this forward motion, this like homegrown knowledge that was inside of you that you were ready to communicate. And it doesn't necessarily have to be with words, because we communicate creativity with creativity in a lot of different ways. But it may have felt like you hit like a wall in August, or the end of August, like think September. And now there's going to be a breakthrough. So you can see how in your horoscope, this is being fed in a lot of different areas. You have a focus in how to communicate. You have this full moon in your most creative area. And then you have this other energy that's asking you to kind of really look at the dream really clearly and then kind of go into that space of creativity. It's a really rich horoscope, Pisces. And I'm excited to see what you guys do with it, because I personally love creative souls. All right. Have a great week. Aries, let's dive into your week. Now, this may be frustrating for you because you have this retrograde motion coming around your career and your dreams. So you think about last week, you got the nod. Good job. Way to go. I'm so proud of you. Step up. And then it's like, but wait, one more thing. Because you took all that nod and yes, I'm ready to dive into my dreams, and you went forward. but you're kind of going back. And some of you could be going back to ensure that you have that nod. You could be going back to make sure that you understand what's being asked of you before you apply it. So you're kind of straddling between the two, but you're going to get there, Aries. This month, you do have a huge focus around your dreams and all those in your life that can help support it. So don't fret over that. Think of any, like, the callback isn't it like a no, just kidding. I was just kidding. You're not great. The callback is you are so great. Let me give you a couple more tips kind of thing. So think of it that way. Your new but not so new familiar story around power is in this same area of career. So kind of think about the authority figures that stand with you or stand up at opposite ends of you and how you agree to disagree with them. Think about ways that you can do this with integrity and healthy boundaries. And this is going to show up because it's in this area of your chart. It can like really activate who you are and your partnerships and your home life too. So I would really spend some extra time thinking about how I agreed with power and what frustrated me and what could help, how I could help this as I move in to 2022. The full moon is going to help you. It's going to illuminate your home, your roof, your most secure place in your life. So celebrate any wins that you have there. Like if you had a breakthrough, like a new home or a new foundation, some kind of security that came in for you, that's where the full moon is. So celebrate the emotions there. If anything's overwhelming, consider why it's overwhelming. Consider what you could do to restructure this as you move forward. Now, your fated revolutionary shift for you is going to be coming around your values. So I think this kind of speaks to the rest of your horoscope. It could have been that a lot of you are looking at independent wealth or finding a new way to accomplish wealth and resources. You had a lot of forward motion. And then it kind of halted for you last fall, and you've been working maybe as an apprentice or looking out into the field for new ways to work with this energy throughout the fall and into 2022. Now you have a hunger and now you have a breakthrough in this area. So kind of to step back and think about this. You have this new breakthrough revolutionary in your values. You have this nod coming in your career and you have a little bit of loose ends to tie up and you have this bright, brilliant energy shining in your home sector. So it kind of all vibrates around your chart that you are going through a transitional phase. There's some moves and some changes coming for you in 2022, but you're in transition and it's good to lay some good groundwork right now to help you move forward with this energy. All right, Aries, have a great week. Taurus. Let's talk about your week, Taurus. Now, your retrograde emotion that you're going to be kind of going back over is going to be coming in for you around something that maybe you were teaching or learning, new horizons, your convictions. It's like you had a clear vision. This is who I am. This is where I'm going, and this is how I'm going to be known. I've specialized in this. I'm super proud of it. And you stepped out into the limelight. You stepped out into the world stage. You're like, wait, just 1 second. I need one more lesson. I need to teach you one more thing before I go in this direction. So that's going to be that forward, backward motion, but you are kind of stepping out into that career space, Taurus. I'm really excited to see how you guys step out with this specialized knowledge that you have. It will be a focus for you. I think a lot of forward motion in the month in Aquarius season for Tauruses. Now, your familiar but not so familiar story for you around power is coming around that same area. Like, this is my convictions. This is what I believe. This is what I teach. This is what I learn. I specialize in this. Now, last year, you may have hit up against a wall, or you may have been a power source or a transformational energy that you kind of like dance with throughout 2021. And honestly, probably a couple of years before 2021 as well. But you are you're forward down the road, like you've walked down the path. So kind of think about, okay, these are the boundaries I need in this area. This is what I agree to transform. And sometimes it's kind of laughable to say I agree to transform in this way, because transformation doesn't really care if you agree or not. But it's almost like, okay, I see that I need to transform in that way. So kind of think about it that way. The full moon is going to be illuminating like, not like, I would say, your communication, but it's also like that soul deep knowledge, something that you already know that kind of was instilled in you in a very young age. Like, you don't even realize that you're that good at it and that you communicate it that well. So celebrate those wins. Celebrate, yes, I'm good at this. I'm known for this, and I'm ready to grow in this direction. Now, your story around fate and revolution for this week is going to be coming in around who you are, like your identity and your health. Now, this is a big story for Taurus, because Taurus, it's no secret that you like to change at your own pace, and your pace is not the pace of everyone else, because you're looking for a timelessness when you do change. So it's as if you had this revolution, this forward motion. It could have been around your health, around your identity, and that shines into your partnerships and your home work life balance, all moving forward like at record speed. We've got this until last fall, and then it was like a retrograde, like falling into familiar patterns, or that connection fell through, or something that that spark kind of, you're like, I'm not really sure, let me take some time to think about it. Well, Taurus, you've taken some time to think about it, and you're ready to move forward in this direction. And the right connections and the right energy and inspiration is coming for you. And on top of that, you have a drive, a hunger that's going to help you lead into this the way that you want to. And at the same time, there's going to be an invitation to kind of psychologically release things that have held you back. So some of you may be thinking about your partner and how you need this partnership to move forward the way you want to. And I think the universe is asking you to release anything that's no longer serving you in partnerships, or releasing partnerships, or your idea of partnerships. Like, it's almost like your new partnerships are paying for your old partnerships' actions. So you have an opportunity to kind of release that energy too at the same time as you move forward, Taurus. It's going to be an interesting week. I'm excited to see what you guys do with that. All right, Gemini, let's move on to your week. Now, Gemini, you're backwards. Like, let's rethink this energy for you is going to be coming around that part of your life that was all about transformation. Now, this could have to do with money and taxes and all that fun stuff too. But it's almost like you were in this, in the shadow work. You're like, okay, I've transformed. I'm great. I'm ready to dive out and tell you what my convictions are. And I'm going to chase that horizon. And you're like, wait, one more second. I need to kind of go back in. Do I need to transform? Do I need to like rethink about this thing one more time? Do you and I have a great agreement so we can go forward with this? So it's kind of touchy when you have a retrograde around matters of money and like that deep transformational work. But I want you to see it as a gift, as a blessing, because what it's going to do is let you pick up, like there may be an opportunity that you left on the table that you need to go back and get, or there may be a clarifying note that you need to go back and get with this retrograde motion. So definitely invite those conversations in. Take some time to re-listen to them, kind of listen to your inner self, because that's where this part of your chart works on, is like that really internal, deep seated things that we kind of shove down in there. So yeah, I think it would feel frustrating, but I think I would also invite it in, because this is a very personal part that will kind of come forward into the rest of your chart. Now, you will have a lot of focus on that new horizon, a lot of focus on your convictions. Like, this is what I want to teach. This is what I want to learn. This is what I know, because I've done all this work and I really specialize in this. So that's going to be a big focus for you this month. You will get there. You're just kind of straddling two worlds right now. Now, your new but not so new familiar story around power for you is going to come in that same part of transformational energy, or shadow work, or money and finances. So it's almost as if you know that you're still transforming, so you're not ready to go forward. That could be a hitch for you, but just know that you can still, there's no transformation, and going through this process or merging on a deeper level with yourself or others is there's not ever a clear start and stop. So you will kind of continue to do this as you move forward into 2022. But what's important about this week is having a solid conversation around it, or a solid conviction around what you feel about it. Like, I am transforming in this way. And I know that it may be easy or difficult, but it's also going to be healthy for me in the long run. So kind of approach it with some integrity and some healthy foundations. I don't think you can put boundaries around transformation, but you can put a healthy foundation. Like, this is everything I've accomplished, and this is what I want to grow through. That's going to come up for you a little bit this week. The full moon's going to help kind of shine some light in this in a way, because it's going to help you see what your individual wealth and your individual values are. Like, this is who I am. This is what I bring to the table. Celebrate what you bring to the table. Celebrate the emotion that you have around this. And if you feel like, I could bring more, I want to change this, then that's totally fine too. You just don't have to bring it forward. But that's where your full moon emotion power struggle is around money, which could be, depending on your relationship with it, it could be a little touchy, Gemini. But I think that it's your perspective too. So see that you're in a process of growing. Now, your fated revolutionary story energy in your horoscope this week is coming around an internal place. Like, this is the place of your, like, it's kind of private for you in a lot of ways. Like, it's almost like you have this connection that you may or may not be connected into as deeply as you want to be or need to be, but there's an awakening here. So it's almost like a creative karmic spot in your life where you're working through anxieties, you're working through fears, but you're also like harvesting karma in a way to move forward. And as you work with this, it's going to show up in a new way in your daily ritual. It's almost like you get clear on the inside, and so all of a sudden everything that you do in rhythm on a day-to-day basis is just a little bit easier for you. So I love that you have a new rhythm that's coming in for you, and you have a new way to work with, any of those internal battles that you may not even realize that you're fighting. That's the interesting part about this area of your life, is sometimes it's so subconscious that we don't unnotice the triggers, but there's going to be an activation here, an activation to release them, or to use them to our benefit. So the more conscious you can be of the unconscious things that you do, I think that's where you're going to kind of notice this activation for you this week, Gemini. So it's super interesting because it's almost like you guys are, just you're doing everything you need to do to show up in the world in a bold way, but you're in that process of doing it. Like they don't even know they don't even know what's coming, because there's just so much beautiful things going on behind the scenes for you. All right, Cancer. Let's talk about your week. Now, Cancer, this could feel like a really potent week for you. It is the full moon that kind of shines on your sun sign. So there's a great illumination. And if you're a Cancer and you're watching this live, I'd love to see, some great things that have happened to you. Like, what was illuminated for you this week? How are you working with this energy? Now, your retrograde backward forward motion for you is going to be coming around your partnerships. And I know that sounds frustrating because you're like, I'm always working on these partnerships. Like, can we move on? But you've come so far, and what this retrograde is asking you to do is kind of just tie up those loose ends or those conversations, listen to them, maybe revisit some healthy boundaries, because it's like you're straddling between partnership, like we're sitting here talking like a client, and we're going to go into a deep partnership. We're going to go into an intimate partnership that completely merges us in a new way. That's one way it could show up. This could be business partnerships that are moving from, we're a business and we're going to go into an agreement. We're going to merge our assets and see where we can go. It could definitely show up that way too. But because this is in a touchy kind of area of your life, this is me and you. Like, it's not, you have to consider not only yourself, but someone else. It's important to revisit those conversations and rethink them. See it as an invitation to make it even better, not as I thought we talked about this. Did we not talk about this kind of thing? So kind of think about it in that way. It's going to help you. Now, as you move into this month, you're going to have a focus on those deep intimacies, those conversations that are that merging kind of quality. This could be transformation. It could also be around money, real estate, taxes, stuff like that. But that's going to be a big focus for you in general. So you're going to get to where you're trying to go. But the retrograde Mercury is just like asking you to think about it one more time. Like, let's clear up those details. And did you hear him right? Did they hear you right as you move forward into this? Now, your new but not so new story around power does come in the same area of partnership. So it's also, that just kind of adds to the energy of like, let's think about healthy boundaries. Let's think about where my personal power is, where your power is, and how we can connect on a new level. So think about that when that comes up this week. Take some time with it, because you're going to see it again throughout the year. And what you want to do anytime you see this is move forward with it. So when it gets time to like psychologically integrate it at the end of the year, you're like, you're a master's degree in integrating it. You've got it down. Like, you worked with this power source and you're ready for next, please. Now, your revolutionary fated story for you is going to come around your dreams and those who support them. And I love this for you, because it's as if you've been working on these partnerships on this one area of your life, but you have this beautiful dream and inspiration and wish that's shining over here. And you had all this forward motion, and some of those partners could have been playing into this forward motion of these dreams and these aspirations that you had. And it just kind of fell flat. And sometimes that's super sad, because it's like in a fun part of your chart. You're like, man, I thought I had this. I was super motivated. And all of a sudden, where did it go? What do I need to do now? Well, that's going to come back online for you. And it's going to come back online with you, like with a lot of hunger. So look for any breakthroughs around your dreams, breakthroughs around people who support them. It could be like a group that you already know, or a friend that you already have. Or it could be a brand new friend, a brand new partner that comes in and says, hey, I've been seeing what you're doing and I have an idea. Do you want to talk about it? And I would suggest that you talk about it with them, because it's going to help you take all this, like these beautiful assets, this creative bowl that you have just kind of sitting down here with everything that you love and all your passions, and use your assets to move forward into the dream. And then you'll also be able to kind of clear those assets out and figure out, do you still need to hold on to that? Because now you're going to take this and move forward. So super interesting how you're going to do it, Cancer. I hope you have a great full moon week, and there's some beautiful emotions and conversations that come up for you. All right, Leo, let's talk about your week. Now, Leo, your backwards but forward motion for you is going to come around your partnership and your routines. It's as if you had like your rhythm and your routine down. You're like, okay, I have this. I'm healthy. All the pets are healthy. I've got my clear view. This is what I'm going to do. And now I'm ready to partner with you. And then you step into the partnerships and you're like, wait a minute, let me think about it for a second. Like, let me make sure that I have everything in my routine set a little bit more so I can partner with you the way I need to partner with you. Because that's what this backward and forward motion is you're just trying to make sure that you're ready for those partnerships. And who wouldn't want to do that? Because you want to, when you show up with your heart and that love of Leo that you have, you want to show up completely. So it's not like the partnership's like, no, I was just kidding. I don't want to be a partner with you. It's more so the universe is saying, this is a good partnership or you're ready for partnership, but first go look at that. Because once you look at that, you'll be able to move forward in a new way. Now, the sun's going to help you this week, this month, as we go into Aquarius season. This is a time of year that partnerships are highlighted for you in general. So you're going to be able to make those partnerships. You're going to be able to highlight your partnerships and for sure, but you just have to also kind of go backwards and forwards at the same time. Work on your ritual, work on what's healthy for you. Your new but not so new familiar story around power as we go into this week is going to be around that same area. And this is an important area, I think, Leo, because it has to do with what you do every single day. So, and it also impacts your health and it impacts how, do you wake up happy? Do you wake up ready to engage your day or do you wake up like, oh, I have to do this today? Kind of like that back and forth energy. So think about your power, the power that you have, and the power sources in your life, the authority figures in your life, and how you need to transform them. Approach this with some integrity, not like, I'm not doing this anymore, and you burn it down, but more like, okay, I see that this has to change. I see that this is a work in progress. How can I do this? How can I work with you to make this change? That kind of conversation, I think, will be really healthy for you as you move through it. And then it'll help you feel, good on the inside and the outside. The full moon's going to help you. It's going to illuminate probably, I want to say it's going to illuminate some subconsciousness, but I don't really know that that's possible. You may be more aware of like your triggers or, karma, or, you may figure like, I was really anxious about this, but look how far I come. I'm over this. Or you may notice one like, that's why I'm anxious about this. There could be some reflective work with you with this full moon. I think I would sit with it. Any emotions that come up, and whatever your tool is, sometimes it's speaking, sometimes it's just thinking or writing it down. Be like, I'm anxious about this, but why? And kind of chase it down. But you do have an illumination in that very private area of your chart. Is for some Leos, this could just be a very creative time or a spiritual time that this full moon illuminates. Like you understand that you're connected to a source that's bigger than you. You hear the muses, you see where it's going to go. And it's like this deep private place that this full moon week is kind of bringing up to you. So some of you could be a little bit more reflective. Now, your fated activation revolutionary energy for you is coming in around your career. So how great is that? You had a lot of forward motion coming for you in your career, and that may have felt like it kind of deflated as we ended 2021. Some activations coming in this area, some breakthroughs that you've been looking for, and you also have a new drive and hunger. So if you take a step back and look at your horoscope as a whole, Leo, the universe is asking you to work on your rhythm so you can join these parts. You can be in partnership with people in a healthier way and your internal, external work, and show up in your career in a new way. So it's kind of like every little thing, you don't realize that it connects, but it does, Leo. It connects in a big way. So see those interruptions, see those conversations. That inner work is something that's going to help you really move forward in your career the way you want to move forward this week. All right, Leo, have a great week. Virgo, let's talk about Virgo's week. Now, Virgo, your retrograde, let's move forward 2 steps in 2 different worlds for you. It's going to be around your creativity and what you do every day. And some of the ways this could have manifested for you is that you had all this inspiration, and this love, and this excitement, and you went to apply it in your daily ritual. But for some of you, it may have been like, no, I want to go have some more fun. With some of you, it may have been, I need to go back and get some more inspiration to bring it into my daily life. That's kind of the back and forth energy that you're doing. It's kind of an interesting place for you because sometimes it's not easy to step out of what's fun and go and apply it. But for you, it is, because you like to apply it. You like the order. You like to say, okay, I want to bring this in every day, and this is how I want to bring it in. This is a system I want around it. I don't think you need to fret. You're going to get there. This month of the Aquarius month of every year is a good focus for you around not only um, creating healthy rituals, but making sure that your rituals are healthy and are in rhythm and in balance with where you want to go. So you're kind of working on that and bringing those passions in as we move through this month. Now, your new but not so new story around power for you does come in that same area of passions. And for some Virgos, I think that this may be in a different sector of that area of your life. It may be around relationships with like romantic partners. It could be around your children as well, or your business. Like where have you transformed? What is this powerful source in this area of your life asking you to do? And it could be an actual person, or like in the universe speaking through that person, or something very internal. But think about how last year went, and what do you want to change? Is there an opportunity that you left on the table that you want to pick up and carry with you? Do you wish that you kind of approach those conversations a little bit differently? Or are you excited that you rocked it last year and then just keep rocking it this year? That's what this energy is asking you to reflect on. And I think this much integrity that you bring into this area of your life, the more integrity, the more order and clarity you're going to have as you approach this through 2022. The full moon is going to help you because it's going to highlight, this is your dream. This is the people who are here to support you. This is your wish. It could be even just a whole new community that the full moon's highlighting. So celebrate what you see there. And if you don't like what you see there, you can definitely not go forward with it, but celebrate the wins. I think that's super important for you, Virgo. Now, your fated revolutionary move in your life is going to be coming around horizons and dreams. And like, it's almost as if you've learned something and you're ready to teach it, or you're teaching something and you're ready to learn something more so you can teach something in that realm. This has a lot to do with publishing too, publishing and reaching things out into a broader spectrum. So media is big in this area. That's where you had a lot of breakthroughs. You had a lot of inspiration coming for you in that area, or you felt like you were like building it and going in the right direction, and maybe writer's block came, or something came that held your words back in a certain way. But now that activation and a hunger and a drive to like pull from what you already know and communicate it on a wider scale, it's really charged this week, and you're going to feel it as you move into the next few weeks, Virgo. So I like how this is really kind of shaping up for you. You have like this whole highlighting area on creativity and bringing it into a ritual, and bringing it out into the world. So if you think about teaching and learning, you need a healthy ritual. You need a balance so you can get everything you need to do to teach it. If you're writing, if you're creative, the creativity, media, you need that organization to move out into the world in a new way. And I love that your dreams are highlighted. So someone's like, yeah, I have that same dream. Let's talk. Definitely talk to them with as much clarity as you can. All right, Virgo, have a great week. Let's talk about Libra. Libra, for you, this week, your retrograde motion that you're going to be feeling is going to be around home and passions. So the passions is still there. You're a couple steps back from Virgo. So it's almost like you had a foundation. You were working through a lot of things through December and now around your home. And that probably was not an easy patch of sky to work through in December, especially when you had it's like an authority and revolution kind of clashing in this area of your life. Like it could have been you were ready to grow out of something, or you had to grow out of something, or you didn't want to. Mercury's asking you to go back and revisit those conversations. Like another analogy that we could use here is, say you moved and you moved into this new house and you kind of threw everything up because it's the holiday season, and now you're ready to kind of go out and have fun, dive into your creativity, your passions, your loves, and you see that there's a couple more boxes that you need to unpack and get organized and get settled and get that foundation. So the foundation of your life is asking you to review it before you move forward into the more fun things. So I don't think that that's bad. And it could be, I can see how it could be frustrating because you want to go have fun. The boxes, they can go in the garage. But think about that, because it may not actually be boxes. It could be conversations with your parents, conversations with those you live with, and your partnerships too. Now, this will be a big highlighted month for you around your creativity and passion. So there's plenty of fun to be had, time with children, time with loves, and just bringing in like this new, like, this is what brings me joy kind of month. So you're going to get there. You just have to get through those details. Now, I think if your new power story, familiar but not new story around power for you, does come again in your roots. So even though you're doing the unpacking of the boxes and having the conversations, you're still going to have a lot of conversations in this area of your life throughout 2022 and probably for 2023 too. So the most important thing to do here is to approach this area of your life, because it's so sacred. It's your nest, with as much integrity and as you can. And sometimes that's difficult because it's kind of like there's an authority figure. So if you're thinking about your home, either you're the authority figure or there's an authority figure there with you. And so you want to make sure that you have balance in these conversations and that your heart is there, but it is protected at the same time. Like, I'm growing into this direction, and let me have a conversation with you about why I'm growing, or this is my goal, or this is what I want to do. And I think even if you can't communicate that with the authority figure in your home, you can at least communicate it with yourself. And you're like, okay, this is who I am. This is how I feel about this. And it's going to help me make some decisions that may be hard, because sometimes, Libra, you overcompensate. Like, you're like, okay, well, this is where they are, so I'm going to balance them out. I really want you to kind of think about with this energy to know where you are and find people who can balance you out instead. Like, don't be the counterbalance. Have someone that helps you balance in harmony. The full moon is going to help with this because it's going to show you who you are in the world or how you're known already. So kind of celebrate any wins that you have around your career or any illumination that comes for you, Libra. Some nods of approval. If you don't like what you see there, obviously you can shift it out, but this is going to help you say, okay, this is how I'm known in this family balance. This is how I'm known in this work-life balance. This is what I need to capitalize on. This is what I need to let go of. That's a familiar story that I think that you're going to do well with. Just make sure that the retrograde's helping you. Like, any re-listens, redos are helping you in this area. Your fated revolutionary energy for you is coming in around a very interesting place of your chart, Libra. It's around transformation. It's around merging, and like, you and I are now one kind of place of your chart. It could be around money and real estate and taxes and shadow work and all that fun, dark, murky kind of parts of your chart. But it's almost like you were going through this empowering transformation and something hit the brakes. It could have been the focus on your home or something in that area. But now, not only is that back in line, you're ready to merge, you're ready to kind of partner on a deeper level and go to the next level and kind of figure out who you are. The butterfly that comes out of the cocoon is activated again for you this week, and it's activated and you have a hunger to reach it. Now, some of the things that you may be working on as this fires for you throughout this year is kind of releasing. It shines on what your personal values are and what your personal resources are and what you kind of bring to the table. So you may be releasing some things to merge in a different way, but you're just gonna have to make sure that you visit that balance in the most healthy way that you can. And this could be reminiscent. Some of this energy may be reminiscent, if you're old enough, of something that happened 18 years ago in this kind of same area of your life. So kind of think about themes. It's not the same people. It's not the same story, but the theme is there. So kind of think back to that, and that may help you pinpoint more directly where this is happening for you in your chart, Libra. But yeah, it's an interesting energy, and I look forward to see how all of you Libras kind of transform the butterflies that are coming out of you. All right, Scorpio, let's talk about your week. Now, your retrograde motion that you're pulling back and kind of straddling two worlds is around your home and your communication. It's as if you had all the words, you knew everything you're going to say, you're ready to set down roots and kind of grow forward with it. And now you're revising them. And that's kind of interesting because, Mercury is about communication. So Scorpios maybe take some extra time to consider like what you're saying and hearing, double check everything that's going out. And it could be that, December moved so fast that you didn't get to say everything you wanted to say or how you wanted to say it. So you need to kind of go back and, have conversations with those siblings or people who you see every day in your community, and your community could be people on Zoom. It's almost like 2022 wrapped up a little bit too fast for you. You need to kind of go back over it. Now, you will have a heightened focus this month. This is the time of year that you do focus on your home. It's almost like you're setting it all up and getting everything in rhythm and balance so you can move forward and focus on the year in a new way. So I like that you have that focus there, and you're going to be able to move forward and kind of set down some roots. You just have to tie up those loose ends and the community around you so you can move forward. Now, at the same time, your new but not so new story around power does come in communication. It's as if a lot of Scorpios were looking for their voice and trying to find a way to communicate it in a new way and pull from that soul deep knowledge and those words, everything that you've been accumulating and that you've seen, like you kind of like, how you see things on deeper levels. You've been trying to figure out how to say that. You've been working with a powerful energy around this, a transformational energy that could possibly change how you present yourself to the world on a wider scale. Like what you're ready to teach is ready to grow out in a new way. So think about any kind of story about transformation and power that comes up for you this week around this area of your life, and ask yourself, okay, how do I want to transform this? How do I want to agree with this And what do I honestly know that I need to grow into? Or what do I honestly know that I need to release so I can become this higher version and use my words and my knowledge in a new way? It's a super interesting kind of place to think about. Now, the full moon is going to help you because you guys are going to be seeing the accomplishments that you've made on the horizon. You could be celebrated for something that you are teaching, something that you are learning, something that like a conviction that you have or an energy that you have around this is who I am and let me show you, and I'm going to show you on a broader scale. I can see that coming in for a lot of Scorpios. And your familiar, all right, so your faded revolutionary energy, Scorpio, for you is coming in around partnerships and how to move them forward. Now, this is an interesting energy, Scorpio, and you're probably going to be feeling this a little bit more intensely. Scorpios and Tauruses are kind of activated in this faded shift because this energy is reminiscent of something that may, if you're old enough, that happened 18 years ago, like a new chapter. It's almost as if you're finishing something that you started then and it's leveling up into a new way. Now, this energy does shine on your partnerships. So you're focused. It's almost like you had a partner or a partnership or an idea or something that was moving forward for you last all the way up into 2021 until like last fall, and it kind of went in a different direction. I would look for new partnerships, or I'd look for partnerships that are being activated in a new way for you. This those ideas that kind of percolate, because it's almost like the opportunity's back on the table and it's better than you thought it could be. And I think you're leaning into those partnerships. Now, the reason that it may be more sensitive to you, Scorpio, is in this process, you are going to have to release some things, or you're going to have to be really clear on, like, this is who I am. This is what I have to offer. And this is what you don't need. Like, you don't need this part in this partnership, but you need this part. So it's kind of like a sifting. I don't want to say that you have to release your identity, but I do think that some of your identities are going to be changed in a way. Like, how you present yourself to the world is going to be a little bit different. Like, we know you as this Scorpio, but we're about to know you as this Scorpio. And there's so much mystery and intrigue in Scorpios anyways. It's interesting to see how you guys are going to reveal in a new way with this energy. And this energy is going to be moving through. This is what we'll have eclipses this year. So there's a lot of, fast forward buttons and revelations and breakthroughs in this area of your life. So kind of watch those partnerships, watch how you stand in them and stand in balance as you move forward, Scorpio. Have a great week. All right, Sagittarius, let's talk about your week. All right, Sagittarius, your retrograde backward motion that you're moving forward is going to be around your values and how you communicate them. So it's almost like, I would think that you thought you had all of your resources in line and you were ready to kind of march forward and be like, okay, this is how we're going to activate this. This is how we're going to communicate it. I'm going to share it with everyone around me. And you need to kind of like recheck the checks and balances before you move forward. Or you want to make sure, like, yeah, after all this experience I had in December, this is how I still feel about this. So I wouldn't see it as too big of a frustration, because it is around, like, sometimes money can be a very sensitive thing for us. So I would take the time that I needed to review anything that comes up for me around this area, Sagittarius. And, this month in general is going to be a big communication month. This is a time of year that you do kind of focus on getting your words and your truth and your message out to all those in the world. So you're going to be able to get to where you're trying to go to. You just have to tie up those loose ends. And because there's such a highlighted focus on communication, and Mercury's kind of playing little, asking you to kind of go back and forth, I would encourage you to just double check everything that you send, everything that you hear, everything that you want to say, to make sure that it's conveyed in the right way, because it could be a little rocky in some areas, Sagittarius. Now, your new but not so new familiar story for you is coming in around money for a lot of you, and your values. And a lot of this is knowing your worth. And that can be difficult, because when the most valuable thing to you, Sagittarius, is knowing the truth and knowledge and learning, and then someone asks you to say, okay, well, what is your worth? Or when you decide, okay, this is my value and this is when I want to move forward, that can be a little tricky. And I can almost see that it's almost like you just need to say, this is what I'm worth, and move and work with it. Find your boundaries. So when you're asked, or when you're negotiating throughout the year, or when you're making financial decisions throughout the year, you know what your boundaries are. You know where you're trying to grow and how you're trying to get in that direction. So kind of think about that. The full moon's going to be helping you, because it's going to illuminate partnerships and where you've been merged. And, like, and this could also illuminate some financial partnerships or anything around real estate or money. It could illuminate things that are ready to transform and we're in your deepest intimate relationships as well. So kind of think about that. Celebrate any wins that you have there. There could be a lot of emotion. I hope it's a lot of positive emotion for you, Sagittarius. All right. So your story around fate and revolution is going to come in what you do every day. So it's almost as you had a revolution. You had a forward motion. You had a great ritual, a great rhythm that helped you like just have a lot of forward motion. And for some of you, it could have been around your health or a health regimen or a routine. And you were rocking it out. And then like the holidays hit and the diet went out the door or something like that. And now this is the week where you have the breakthrough, like where the willpower comes back in. And you're ready to take care of yourself because if you take care of yourself, you can show up in the rest of the world the way that you need to. And what's great about this is you have a healthy focus and a healthy drive to focus on this area of your life and release any kind of habits that you don't have. So it could be, if you are looking at a diet or a ritual, like why do I do that? And where does that come from? Is it connected to my emotions? And how can I release that karmic energy to move forward? That's where this activation is coming for you in the next 18 months. But you're going to feel it open up this week. And you'll remember, man, I was rolling up until the holidays hit or up until the fall. And then there it went. But now you're going to be rolling again. Now you're going to have that same activation ready to rock and roll for you again. And I'm excited to see what you do with it, Sagittarius. All right, guys, if you would like to easily jump to your horoscope each week so you don't have to listen through everything, you can sign up to get a time-stamped email sent to you each Friday. And it'll tell you exactly where your horoscope is. You just need to go to astrologyhub.com/star signs to sign up, and that'll come your way. All right, guys, I hope you have a great week. I can't wait to see you next week. See you soon. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate, review, and hit subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so that you can easily stay up to date on the latest Astrology Hub podcast episodes. You can learn more about Astrology Hub and find out about all of our shows at astrologyhub.com/podcast.